am your host of Dealing with the Issues. I'm here today with our co-host Nakia.
Hi, I'm Nakia with Dealing with the Issues.
And today we're going to discuss welfare reform. We know that this is a hot button issue and that there are a lot of emotions that run deep with this issue.
I agree.
When we talk about welfare reform, we're talking about Bill Clinton, and 1996 is when welfare reform went into law. Okay. And basically what it was about was reducing the numbers of people who were on public assistance, because this is a federally funded program. Governor Doug Ducey in the state of Arizona has now decided that the state benefit limit for cash assistance is now 1 year.
Okay.
Do we think that that is a substantial amount of time to become self-sufficient? Giving other factors like maybe having to go to school, looking for work, finding daycare for your children. We're talking as of July 2016, thousands of families are going to end up not receiving assistance anymore because the limit is 12 months. 12 months is sufficient time to become self-sufficient.
It is. I agree.
You agree with that?
I don't know about everybody else, but I agree.
You agree with it?
I do.
And I ask you this, Nakia, now be candid, because we have 12 months to look for a job. I agree that that's a sufficient amount of time, but is it a job that you're going to enjoy? Is it a job that you're going to like? Are you going to be able to stay at that job is the question, or are you going to end up losing that job or not being there and right back in the welfare office?
Well, since I've gone through the system myself, there's so many programs like Dress for Success. If you really are diligent about job seeking and you're diligent about resume making, there's so many things where they'll give you bus passes to go to where you have to go. If you get a job interview, Dress for Success, they'll give you 5 outfits to start with. I'm not talking like Taco Bell outfits. I'm talking business outfits.
Okay, for interviewing and
working.
Having a start off work wardrobe.
Yes.
Now, I agree with you in the terms of the resources that are available for an individual to be able to find employment. But my question still remains the same. Is this a sufficient amount of time for someone to gather an education and to be prepared to go out in the workforce and become self-sufficient, thereby avoiding welfare altogether? Now, I say this because the lifetime benefit limit of welfare is 60 months, which is 5 years, according to federal statutes. Okay,
but we're just talking.
We're talking state. We're talking cash assistance, not food stamps.
We're not talking access.
No, we're not talking access or food stamps. As far as I know at this point in time, of course, food stamps and access are unlimited, but they're also attempting to enact a bill for access medical insurance, Medicaid, for those of you who live in other states, making it so that if you do get medical insurance, you have to work as well. Very similar to cash assistance. Now, I work for welfare, and in working for welfare, we find that medical and cash assistance almost run in tandem when it comes to the policies and rules that apply.
Okay, so I'll say this. If there's a limit, there should also, for those who do want to further their education, they should have a sort of clause inside of that reform or this bill, because because college is not for everybody.
Okay, so the welfare reform is all about welfare to work. Okay. This is why we all have to participate in jobs programs if you choose to apply for cash assistance. So they ask that you usually comply with child support and some type of jobs program.
In my case, I wouldn't comply with child support, so my cash assistance was cut.
The whole
that
thing
was just me though. That's because I wasn't looking for no handout from my baby's father. That was just me. So because I knew I only had a certain amount of time to comply, I made sure I had a job, and I started out as a lunch lady, and I did not like my job.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm a lunch lady. I was able to also be on other programs to help with my housing.
Okay.
So when me having income, I have my food stamps, I have my medical, and I have my job. So inside of all that, I was able to go to school and have a part-time job.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So this is me as a single parent. I don't have help.
Right.
I don't have nobody coming to offer me no car at this point.
Right.
This is taking the bus every day. This is paying for my bus passes diligently. This is getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, taking my son 10 miles out of my way, and then backtracking 20 miles backwards to go to my job.
Right.
So it definitely depends on the individual. Me, myself, because I wasn't, I'm not finna go try to figure, okay, where his daddy at? Okay, I gave him the number. Okay, I don't know his last name. I was hot.
Right.
I was being a hot mess.
Right.
I ain't got time for that. When I became a parent, I was on a whole nother, I was in a whole nother mindset, a mind frame. When you're a parent, you have to be able to multitask. You have to be able to get up and do what you got to do and hit the pavement, pounding the pavement, by the way. You have to be able to do that so that you can provide for that child.
Right.
I
agree.
There are other people out there, because I didn't have my cash assistance after 3 months that I was here because I didn't comply. So I had my job, then during my job, I went to school.
Okay.
I went to school and worked. I had 15-hour days, not including transit time, not including time that I'd have to walk from one bus stop to the other because the buses stopped running at a certain time.
Right. Right. Now, I agree with you as far as it being the individual, because then we go from your story to another side of the spectrum, which would be my story. And my story is being on welfare, knowing I have 5 years in order to do something with my life. Well, we just call it the 5-year plan for argument's sake.
Right.
And being able at that point to say, okay, I'm going to start going to school and I have this amount of time to end here.
But that's
now the way I
job.
saw it, but the way
that's
I
still
saw
a full-time job you
but
have.
this is the way I saw it. I saw it, if I go to college, like you said, it's an individual preference, because not a lot of people are going to choose that route.
Right.
I was thinking that if I go to college and then I educate myself, I get degrees, then I wouldn't have to go back on assistance ever again. So what I wanted to do in my case was to cut the vicious cycle of ending up with employment that I didn't like and ended up back in the welfare office, given the factor that I would have been denied unemployment. That is usually the case with many people, is that once they no longer can receive unemployment or they can't get the unemployment, they run right to the welfare office and they're signing up for cash assistance in order to be able to get from 1 month to the next month, which in fact, to be honest, is not enough money for anybody.
No.
It was me and my son, and we were getting $220 a month in cash assistance.
I was
without programs around to substantiate or to help, such as Section 8 or housing programs to help you out. You can't survive on cash assistance any damn way.
No, you
it's
cannot.
just not going to happen. Like you were saying, the individual. Now, I'm sure there are loopholes available, because I did work for welfare, and there were some loopholes there where if you had extenuating circumstances, you were able to apply for extensions to be able to continue to get the assistance.
Now the question is that going to continue?
Of course it's going to continue.
So
it has
that's
to,
fair.
because an extenuating circumstance, you may have a disabled child, you may live in a rural area and you're unable to get public transportation or a vehicle to get you back and forth to work, or you don't have access to being able to pay for daycare or afford for daycare.
Daycare is expensive.
Oh, yes.
So cash assistance don't even touch the daycare costs. If you're a single parent, cash assistance will not touch your daycare costs.
No. So then they have to apply for child care. and go through jobs programs. A woman who has more than one child may find themselves in a deeper struggle than someone who may have less children.
True.
Especially when they start under the age of 12, for argument's sake there. Anytime you have more than one kid under that age, you have to be able to afford childcare, and you have to be able to send those kids to daycare.
Or you can be a stay-at-home mom, but you have to be some sort of entrepreneur. You better make a good banana cream pie.
Yeah. You better get to that farmer's market.
I'm telling you right now.
And sit your pies on the table.
With your kids, telling them you better read your assignment today.
But this is true, though. But this is true because those are the issues that they're dealing with here. As far as 1 year goes, I say, without a doubt, as we all sat in that office and we were working, we were, why are so many people on this? Why is this that? This needs to change, that needs to change. Now it is changing.
Be careful what you wish for. So I think that a year can be enough, as long, we talked about the extensions for extenuating circumstances. I think as long as that doesn't go away and you really do have an individual who's looking to make a change, then hey, there are ways in which they can continue possibly and do what you gotta do. So girl, bye. Girl, bye. We got you.
I agree so much with it being a year, because that is a sufficient amount of time for someone to make a difference in their lives. The whole key point here is that we know that welfare is in some trouble based upon the whole economical situation of our country, and that we have to be prepared for these things. And if you're someone who feels like they're going to panic, please don't. We are so going to make a lot of resources available on our website with regards to welfare and other places that can help you out should you reach that 12-month and not have an extenuated circumstances come July of 2016. So Section 8, CAP offices in Arizona, all of these resources will be as they pertain to the state of Arizona. If you don't live in Arizona, take a look and see what is available here, because I'm sure it is available in your state as well, even though it may be called something different. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today on Dealing with the Issues. Heather and Nakia, thank you for listening, and please visit www.dealingwiththeissues.com.
This has been a Dealing with the Issues production. Thank you so much for watching.